Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about what a blue wave would look like in the 2020 general election. So we're going to do House, Senate, governors, and obviously the presidency. So the presidency we've already talked about. I've done a video on the Joe Biden best case scenario. Not South Dakota. So I'm just going to fill in these states, no margins, just what a blue wave could look like. Now, this isn't going to be like a best case scenario, but more of a realistic scenario. And I do think that there's going to be a blue wave because right now people are angry with Donald Trump, and they are not enjoying his presidency. So a blue wave would probably look a little something like this. Because people are not happy with Donald Trump. He has a 41% approval rating. And no one is really having a good time right now in terms of politics. And so I'm just going to fill in Nebraska a second. Yeah, so maybe the blue wave would look something like this, maybe more like this and this. I don't know, so we're just going to keep it at that. So that would be what it would ideally look like for now. This is not a best case scenario. It's just like in a best case scenario, we'd have, maybe this, and but really, even in a blue wave, realistically, that wouldn't happen. So, this is what a realistic blue wave could look like. Uh, so, so, yeah. Uh, in general, I do think that the Democrats would win this election. Right now, if it were to be held today, it would definitely be a Biden victory. I give Biden an 80% chance of winning the presidency, maybe 75%. But we're talking about a blue wave come November. And again, I do think that's going to happen, but it wouldn't be, Texas going blue, Georgia going blue, Iowa and Missouri going, no. Just a realistic blue wave. So on the presidential level, we would have Biden beating Trump by something like that. And then if you guys want to see what it would look like on the, or what I think it would look like on the gubernatorial level, which is the first thing that comes up, you'd have the Democrats winning in Washington, Delaware, obviously, safe states. They're going to win North Carolina by probably a likely margin there, so they obviously win that. They'd win Montana. I do think that they're going to win Montana by a tilt margin again. It's going to be very close. So in general, I would see in the best case scenario, the Democrats would win in the state of Missouri. They would also probably pull off an upset in one of these states. They'd probably win in Vermont and lose in the rest of these states. Now, I guess, again, this being a realistic blue wave scenario, they could win in like a crazy best case scenario. They could pull it off in West Virginia and New Hampshire, but again, I wouldn't see that happening under a realistic blue wave scenario. So again, for the Democrats, 26 Democratic governors, 24 Republican governors. So that's certainly something to see. And then for the Senate, again, we would see, now, best case scenario, I can already tell you what it would be. They'd win all of these states that I'm filling in right now. That would be what a best case scenario for the Democratic Party would look like. Again, this is not my real prediction, but again, this is not a best case scenario. Even in a blue wave year, they probably wouldn't win in Texas. Probably not Alabama. Probably not Georgia. Georgia. Probably not in Georgia's normal election. Probably not South Carolina. And now Alaska could go to the Democrats. I mean, at the Senate level, it could. I forgot to fill in. I forgot to mention that for a best case scenario, that they'd win in Kentucky as well. But we'd probably see them winning in states like losing in states like Alaska, or actually no, sorry. Yeah, so you have them losing in states like Alaska, but winning in states like Kentucky, where you have unpopular incumbents and just a general rejection of the Republican Party. And so that wouldn't really affect people in safe Republican states, and they'd still probably lose. I mean, I don't see them losing that race either. But just in general, a general rejection of the Republican Party, in that would affect Mitch McConnell probably the most out of all these senators. Yes, they could win Alaska. I could see that happening uh, in a blue wave, but again, we're talking about the most realistic blue wave possible, and in that they lose Alaska narrowly. So yes, they'd have 54 senators to the Republicans 46, which is similar to what the Republicans had after the 2014 midterms, which again was a red wave year. And now in the House, I'm going to be releasing a House prediction pretty soon. Uh, in the House, they'd probably win. Uh, they would win. They'd probably hold down all their seats. Like this. Uh, I think they'd probably flip that seat. They could flip the seat because of Spokane, Washington's fifth district, but again, not necessarily. They'd probably win a bunch of seats in Oregon, like their fourth congressional district, and their third congressional district. They wouldn't win Greg Walden's district. California would be very. Whoops, yeah, California is going to be tough to fill in. But obviously, to fill in the Bay Area, you'd fill in Pelosi's district, right? If I can get to it. Oh, sorry. That's Jackie Spears' district. So you'd fill in Pelosi's district. I somehow managed to fill it in. All right. So, yes, again, California would be very democratic. So, yes, I could see them winning down here. They'd win. They'd take back the seat that Mike Garcia is holding, which I do think they. Spoiler alert: I do think that Mike Garcia is going to win a. I think he's going to win re-election. He probably had a tougher time around. Now trying to oust Christie, or to not oust, but that was a Democratic seat, so he had to beat the party that had been holding that seat. So you'd probably see them winning all across LA. And I know that there are some. There do whoops, yeah. There are some Republicans who have won in LA, because LA is at least compared to like Northern California, like San Francisco, it is pretty conservative. And yes, they do tend to vote to the left of the country, but that's because they're diverse. Okay, I can. So it doesn't want to let me fill in that one district. But there we go. Somehow we did it. It was a struggle, but we filled in California land, I guess, LA land. So they probably win. TJ Cox would definitely hold down a seat. That's an interesting thing to talk about. They probably win in Nevada second congressional district because of Reno and like Tahoe being able high turnout from there. And in case you guys don't know, Idaho's first congressional district that went to the Democrats in 2008, and that was a blue wave year. They'd win Montana at large, not really the Dakotas, but they could win in Nebraska's second congressional district, Kansas, third and second and third. Kendra Horn would hold down her seat there, and you'd see flips from Texas 23. Vanessa Escobar in Beto O'Rourke's former district, I believe. Again, they'd be they'd be holding on to a lot of seats and flipping some in southern Texas. And again, the House is already favorable to the Democrats because they have the majority. A lot of retiring incumbents, Republicans, who really are going to have a tough time having a snowball's chance in hell. Well, that was a little rough, but they're gonna have a tough time taking back the House because realistically, it's not gonna be competitive. French Hill's seat could flip. I mean, he's not super popular, but again, I'm not gonna flip it. Ann Wagner, she'd probably win. Lacey Clay, yeah, he's a longtime congressman from Missouri. Emmanuel Cleaver would hold down a seat. And then the rest would go to the Republicans. This Missouri's 8th district could be competitive. Again, the Democrats would hold 3 of their 4 seats. And yes, Steve King did lose his primary. So generally, I would say that I do think that the Democrats are going to lose Colin Peterson there, but again, it's an interesting thing to look at because incumbents in a best case scenario for their party, they don't lose realistically. So Mike Gallagher would probably lose, uh, and you'd probably see flips outside of Milwaukee. This seat could flip Ron Kine. Oh, I thought he was a Republican. My bad. That's my bad. Tom Tiffany, he won there. Oh, this is surprising me. I thought that was a Republican seat as well, but I guess it's the effects of a blue wave. So if I can zoom in on these, because this is going to be tricky to fill in some of these states, and I realize I'm not going to have the map unlocked. So again, when you look at Michigan, just so you guys can get a visual of this, Rashida Tlaib, she'd hold on. I mean, she has a ton of name recognition now at this point. Um, they, they would. Justin Amash is Michigan's third congressional. Yeah, that's going to flip to the Republicans. Um, Indiana, they'd hold on to this seat. They would hold on to that seat. Do they have another seat in Indiana? I don't think they do. Yep, they don't. Sorry, that's my bad. Chicago, Ville, they would definitely hold on to all those districts because they're solid blue. Um, Lauren Underwood, very competitive. She'd hold on now. I do think that she has a good shot at losing in 2020, her election. Um, but in a best case, or not in a best case scenario, I keep saying that, in a Democratic wave year, she would win. Um, again, there are, I think I'm missing a Democrat. Yeah, it's Robin Kelly. That's what I was thinking of. Now going over to Ohio, Tim Ryan, and Anthony Gonzalez is probably going to hold on to his seat. Just Betty. I could see this seat flipping in a best case scenario for the well, not like I keep saying best case scenario, but I mean Democratic wave. So yes, again, uh, the 18th congressional district of Pennsylvania and Erie would flip to the Democratic Party. Um, again, Brian Fitzpatrick's seat would definitely flip. I do think that it's gonna flip. So around Scranton, I could see that flipping. No, that's not going to flip, but this district could flip. Um, and going over to Newark/New York again, you'd see the Democrats holding on to a ton of these seats. Max Rose is an interesting uh, New York's 11th district. Actually, kind of uh, goes over to New Jersey, but it's interesting to see because I do think that he's going to lose, just because he has a formidable opponent. I thought this said Christy Smith. Andy Kim he has a good shot at winning. Jeff Van Drew, he was elected as a Democrat. Now he's a Republican. He's probably going to lose there. Now he's up for re-election as a Republican. You'd see all of Long Island except for these two districts um, going to the Democrats again. This scenario is a Democratic wave scenario, and I'm going to be doing this for the Republicans as well. And yes, again, up here, I think, yeah, Antonio Delgado is probably going to lose, but again, in a wave year for each party, their incumbents probably wouldn't lose. New York 27 is going to stay with the Republicans. Uh, the urban areas are going to stay with the Republicans, and Vermont is obviously going to stay with the Democrats. Now, Jared Golden up in Maine's second congressional district. That's very interesting because of the fact that he is in a place that's almost certainly going to go for the Republicans in the election. But in the best case scenario, he'd hold on. I do think that he's going to lose, though. They'd hold on to all their districts in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, because generally, I don't like to give a lot of seats up north to the Republicans in general. And in a best case scenario for the Democrats, or no, I'm so sorry, in a Democratic wave year, they'd hold on to all their incumbents. Delaware, Lisa Blunt Rochester, she'd hold on to her seat. Most of DC doesn't have a congressional district, which is bad news for the Democrats. I think that they should have a district, but Maryland and the Baltimore area would go to the Democrats in general. I know I'm spending way too much time on the House, but there are a lot of districts to fill in for the Democrats. Abigail Spanberger, she could be vulnerable. Actually, I think she's going to hold on to win, but um, she definitely hold on in a best case. I've said that 10 times now. This is getting pretty bad. So yeah, some of these smaller districts around here uh, could go to the Democrats. I think that Greg Holding's seat would flip, Mark Walker's seat would flip, and again, this is kind of gerrymandered, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But again, this could be pretty bad. Joe Wilson's seat would flip. Uh, is that Collins? I'm trying to find Collins' seat. Yeah, Jim Clyde. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. All right. Um, and Doug Collins is he represents northern Georgia. He is probably going to run for Senate, and he's going to win that seat realistically. So he is probably going to uh, give up his seat, but he'll be succeeded by another Republican. It is a safe blue seat, and some of these other districts are going to go for the Democrats. Terry Swalwell, Benny Thompson. I could see Alabama one flipping because Bradley. Well, sorry, never mind. Uh, John Rutherford. No, Jacksonville is weird because it's urban, but it votes Republican, which again is weird. Al Lawson probably is going to hold on to his seat. Uh, Tampa Bay is going to stay with the Democrats. Charlie Christ again, who was the former, I believe he was the former governor. He was a former governor, I think. And he ran for Senate and lost. He ran as an independent. He was a Democrat. Yeah, but they're going to hold on to all these seats again. In general, Val Demings, if I can find, yeah, there she is. Um, so yes, it would look a little something like this for best case scenario. And as you can see, they've taken the majority. I forgot to fill in Hawaii, and there's still seats they haven't filled in yet. So yes, it can get worse for the Republicans from here. Louisiana, they're probably going to win one seat. They could flip if I. Oh, nope. I thought they had a shot at flipping their first district, so I guess I'm going to give it to them in a wave year for their party. Yes, I finally got that right. Now, Ben Ray Lujan and his seat, as well as the first district, are going to be safe for the Democrats. However, this district down here, Torres Small, I think she's going to lose, but again, in a wave year, she'd win. Um, Now, what's interesting about Arizona, kind of like Jacksonville, Florida, is that um, these are Andy Biggs. Oops, I forgot. All right, so this is where Scottsdale is, and Scottsdale is a urban area, and there are a lot of college-educated voters, but these are mostly older, senior conservative voters. So, in a wave year, the Democrats would do very well in urban areas. However, they probably wouldn't flip Scottsdale, but they would flip Andy Biggs' seat. Um, so Tom O'Halloran, yeah, he'd hold on to his seat. Uh, in Utah, uh, their fourth district, the seat that Mia Love once held. Whoops, I can't. Their fourth district, Ben McAdams. I forgot his name. That's why I referred to it as Mia Love's district. That would stay with the Democrats. Ken Buck, Joe. All right, so this is interesting because this district right here could flip, but I don't think it's going to. So again, we'd see something a little like this, and I'm just going to fill in there. Oh, I forgot to fill in one Democratic district. Okay, Seattle land. So it would look something like this in the House of Representatives, and yes, I'm certainly going to show you the full damage that the Democrats do. Not to our country. I'm not going to talk about that, but to the Republicans, because right now the Republicans are in a very bad position with the House of Representatives, and I could see the Democrats winning races in Texas that I didn't give them. They could probably win in Alaska because Don Young again is very unpopular. Lloyd Doggett probably is going to lose, but I could see yeah, and Joaquin Castro is going to hold on. I forgot to fill in that area. So I probably did forget. Yeah, Al Green, he's gonna win. I forgot to fill in some of these. Not certainly not rural Oklahoma. So yes, some of these seats I did mess up on. If I did, let me know in the comment section below. And for my house prediction, should I do it in the form of an election night, which again would be a lot of slides, but I'd be willing to do it for you guys. Now it would take a while, but should I do it in election night or should I do it in a more just a prediction where I just, again, it would be pretty long, so I'm just filling in the districts here for a Democratic wave in general. But so yeah, that's basically it for Democratic wave would look like in the 2020 elections. Now, again, not I know I said best case scenario a lot. I was misspeaking. I think I corrected myself on it consistently. But this is a Democratic wave scenario, and I do think that there's going to be a blue wave come 2020. But this will be a bigger one than one would expect. Um, so, yes, definitely, Democrats can win. Oh, I'm about to fill in Kentucky. Sorry, that's not good. Andy Barr's Andy Barr's district is not trending to the left. Amy McGrath ran an exceptionally strong campaign there, but it's not going to flip to the Democrats anytime soon. Andy Barr's going to win by a big margin again. Amy McGrath, the trans, she raised $8 million in rural Kentucky. So again, she's not going to. She's running for Senate now against Mitch McConnell, and she does have a shot at winning. Um, but Andy Barr's district is not going to flip anytime soon. So if you're thinking that it was close in 2018 and that it's going to flip to the Democrats in 2020, you're wrong about that. So, yes, I'm filling these final seats. Yes, so let's zoom out and see what it would look like in the House of Representatives. It would look a little something like this, and I know that was generous. They probably wouldn't flip Utah's first district. But yes, that we would probably see Montana flip in Nevada 02. So yes, that's it. Comment down suggestions below. Tell me what you want me to do. Um, again, so if we're going back, 262 seats in the House. If I can go, oops, nope, don't want to do that. If I can go at the presidential level, they'd probably win. In a wave year again, they would, in all likelihood, win in Ohio because not a best case scenario, but more of a wave realistically. So that's what it would look like electorally. Senate, they'd get 54 seats. And yep, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.